Hello Aquarius, welcome to your November 2022 tarot card reading and astrological horoscope. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new here, my name is Jane, just to quickly introduce myself. So we are moving officially into November of 2022. October was an incredibly eventful month, and now that we are making a transition into November, after the eclipse on November 8th, things should start to sort of subside a little bit. Now for these readings, like we did last month, I have two different segments. The first segment is going to be a tarot card reading, which is purely intuitive, and the second segment is going to be an astrological horoscope. Thank you all so much for the amazing feedback that I received last month on those as well. And some people like to watch the astrology portion first. So if that's you, then you can absolutely click on that timestamp down below, and then you can go back and watch the tarot card portion after if you prefer. Now, you can watch these readings for your sun, moon, or rising sign, although just know that the rising sign is going to be a little bit more accurate in terms of all the house placements of the transits. Timestamps for each segment will be found in the description box and the comment thread down below for easy access. And also down below in the description box and comment thread, there will be information regarding how to access the comprehensive readings. So let's go ahead and get into this for the month. Thank you all so much, and I'll see you in just a sec. Hello Aquarius, welcome to your November 2022 tarot card reading. Thank you all so much for being here. So we're going to start off with a really intuitive message from a really intuitive deck, just a single card, and then we're going to pull out all the regular cards that we normally do each month. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look what comes through. Okay. I'm kind of getting this energy of kind of this intense need to express yourself. Like there's something you have to get out, there's something you have to say, or something that you really just cannot keep in. Now this may be something that you have to tell somebody, and it may also be something creative or some project that you can't allow to sit on the back burner anymore. Like, I don't know that you're going to have a choice. To me, it feels like something is busting wide open. Now, this may have to do with the fact that Mars is retrograde in your 5th house, which I do like Mars in Gemini a lot. The hyper, high intensity, high energy, lots of ideas, lots of things to say and do. That's all really great because it can lead to wonderful things. But I also know that there's a temporariness to this particular period in time and to a lot of the things that are going on right now. So I would embrace the fact that this is something that you're feeling so called to do, and it may feel like that, like you don't have a choice but to do this. You can't not do it, in other words. And yet I don't know that it is going to be something long term. I'm more getting like this has to get out of your system to a degree. You have to get it out of your system as it is a part of this sort of complex tapestry that is your life. I'm kind of envisioning one of those old like medieval or Renaissance period paintings. You know how they always have like crazy things going on in those paintings, and there's, usually the main topic, let's say there's like, a wedding going on, and then in the corner there's like some other weird thing happening, like some lady sitting down, sewing something with her dog, right? There's something kind of a side note or a footnote to the rest of the story. And I'm kind of feeling like that's what this is, but for whatever reason, there's something important about it that I don't want you to ignore. I can't tell you with this one card exactly what that's going to lead to, but I do think you'll be really happy that you did it. Okay, or you said it, right? You had that conversation, you did the thing, and now you can move on from it at the end of November, moving on into December, okay? So let's start off with a card that signifies what the universe needs from you. This is going to be a major arcana card. The Devil, okay. So there is going to be an element of hard work. There's going to be an element of desire as well. going to be a desire that I think it's like, it's something you can't escape. You need to go through this. And I don't think it's egoic or selfish. I think it's a part of your story. And it's like, I don't know, I'm getting a feeling like it is something you have to do. It is something you have to say, but it is really, really hard at the same time. By doing so, you are overcoming great aspects of yourself that have been hindering you for a long time. Maybe that's what the word I'm looking for is, getting over yourself. You're shoving aside a lot of the insecurities. Now, when I say shoving aside, I don't mean suppressing or denying or anything like that. It's just like, okay, yeah, so maybe I'm afraid, but I don't have to act that way, right? There's a lot of courageousness, actually, I'm hearing a lot of courageousness coming through for Aquarius this month. And you may surprise yourself. And you may surprise yourself when you find yourself in a hard spot, or with a creative block, or with some kind of like a wall between, like an imaginary wall between where you are and where you say you want to be. And this is your month to crush that. So let's see, for Aquarius, Queen of Wands, beautiful. Now this is the environment. So this is someone else, someone external from you. She is strong and bold, and certainly can offer good advice if you need it. She's extraordinarily supportive, but this is not someone with whom you can be codependent. She's not going to allow you. In fact, she may actually mirror back to you a lot of your own darkness or your own shadow, and you may not appreciate it in the time that it's happening. I think that's going to be the essence of eclipse season. Like as high consciousness and as we can claim that we are, we can never prevent life from happening, right? And so as much as you want to say, okay, yes, I'm this super high conscious being and all these things, good for you, but at the end of the day, sometimes we do have things mirrored back to us that we didn't even realize was still there or was even there in the first place. And that may be what happens. And so you just have to kind of accept it. I'm not saying that this person is going to be criticizing you. That's probably not how this is going to go. In fact, actually, this person may be doing something really, really well that you would like to do well, that you have been struggling to do well. And so in that reflection, you're looking in at yourself and maybe thinking like, well, what's wrong with me? Or, that kind of narrative. But this is your chance, right? This thing must come out. These words must be expressed this month. You have to do it. And so you overcome a lot. This is going to be a powerful month for Aquarius, for sure. Especially because this full moon eclipse is happening against, one of your ruling planets, Uranus, in your 4th house. So your whole foundation is really being shook up. So your sense of safety and security, your little comfort zone, right? It's not really feeling that comfortable right now. And you can't scurry away and hide in that comfort zone right now. Sun in the 10th house. You have to be out there. You have to be kind of in that public realm. You have to be seen. And that's just what is needing to happen, okay? We have the World. We have Death. Pull out one more card. I think the reason for this, like I was describing with one of those Renaissance paintings with that weird scene in the corner that always happens, that's always there. Again, it's not like the main focus of your life, but maybe it will be. Maybe there's a little foreshadowing happening right now, and maybe you don't necessarily know it or realize it or understand it, but I think somewhere down the line, you're going to look back on this moment and you're going to say, wow, like I never realized how that thing was ultimately going to become my whole life. And it's probably going to be something small, but it has to get out of your system. We have the World, we have Death, one more card. Sorry, I know I'm talking a lot. And we have Temperance. Okay, boom, 3 major arcana right out of the gate. So it is a big month for you. And I think it has been big for Aquarius. Yes, we have Saturn moving direct as of the 23rd of October. So yeah, it has been big. Yes, Aquarius has been a point of focus, and you're changing. You cannot go through Saturn through your sign and come out the other end the same person. You change a lot when that happens. You are going through this incredible process of growth, and it is not always easy, as we see here with the devil, which is ruled by Saturn. Also, the world is ruled by Saturn as well. So your whole sense of reality, the experiences that you're having are starting to change. There's certainly an upgrade happening, which often happens when the death card pops out. It's almost always an upgrade. But death makes sense with the fact that it is Scorpio season through the better part of November before we hit Sagittarius season. Plus we have eclipses, plus we have Venus and Mercury in there for the first few weeks. Actually the first couple of weeks. On 16th and 17th, they'll move into Sagittarius. But we do all have to get dunked under once in a while. And we have to go through a metamorphosis, quote unquote, and maybe a life experience that is positive, right? This doesn't always have to be because something bad happens. Sometimes death occurs because something good happens, right? A musician who writes this incredible song goes viral and it completely changes their whole life. But that's the death of them playing their guitar in their basement on TikTok, and now all of a sudden they're like performing concert halls, right? Or arenas. That's the difference. The death of the old in with the new doesn't always necessarily mean anything bad. And with the Temperance card, there is a suggestion that things that you're going to be okay with it. I don't know that you're going to push against this reflection that's going on with the Queen of Wands against your own inner dark shadow there. You're not going to push against it. You're not going to fight it because you know what it's like to fight that. And as Aquarius is preparing for Pluto in the next 6 months to touch ground in Aquarius, right? First time in 248 years or however long it's been. It's like, and you're kind of going, what I'm going to say is like going limp. Like I remember when I was a ballerina, they always said, like, if you ever feel like you're going to fall out of a pose or something, just relax your whole body and let yourself fall. Otherwise, if you tense up, you could break an ankle or something. So I feel like that's kind of what's happening with Aquarius. They're just sort of going limp and surrendering into the process that they know they need to go through. I don't know that this is going to be especially tumultuous. I think it's going to be a little bit more exciting. And because this feels like something needs to come out of you, there's going to be a massive sense of relief as well. And once you start to relieve yourself of this thing that's been building up, once you do that, you can start operating from a more receptive place. And that's why the Temperance is here. It's here to say, it's all good. It's all okay. Let's see what else for Aquarius. What else for Aquarius? 8 of Coins. The Wheel of Fortune, exactly. And the 2 of Cups. Beautiful. I mean, this is really positive stuff, and I think Aquarius has had some tougher readings lately, but this is not tough at all. This is like the universe giving you a really big hug and saying, do the things that make you happy, do the things that make you money, do the things that improve your life, do the things that, really stimulate you in the deepest, most profound ways. The Wheel of Fortune it's like things are starting to come back. Things that have been lost, things that have been surrendered, things that have been released. Those voids, those gaps are starting to be filled in with new, fresh things. And they're not like new things that are replicas of the old things, which is common when we're on a healing journey. We may break up with someone, but then we get right back into a new relationship with someone completely new, but they're pretty much the same person, right? It's just the same person over and over in just different bodies. But that's not the case here. This is new everything. And the Wheel of Fortune is saying it's leading to greater increase. There's more money, there's deeper love, deeper connection, more heightened states of creativity, heightened connections with God, the divine, heightened sense of awareness. And with the Two of Cups, there is a suggestion that you're going to be working really, really well with people, and communication will likely go well. And actually, when we have a Two of Cups, I like a Two of Cups when with the Devil, because it does suggest. Now, I would be really, really resistant to advise to get into any massive agreements until we hit like Sagittarius season. But even then, we still have Mars in retrograde. And sometimes when things are initiated during a retrograde, it can be, it can fall apart more quickly. So if it's something long-term and you're feeling unsure about it, the advice is just simply don't do it. Just wait and see if the feeling still is present. It's something you still want. But I do think you have power in terms of how you are communicating with people and how you are articulating what it is that you need or what you're looking for or what you want. And people are going to be really receptive to that. This is the beauty of having Mercury and the Sun in that 10th house. Also Venus, you're kind of in this illuminated spotlight position, and you have a sense of authority. People are going to take you seriously. Your voice is not going to get lost. It's not going to get lost in translation either. We're no longer in Mercury shadow or Mercury retrograde, right? Mercury is going at a good rate. He's operating well. And while he may not be super strong here in Scorpio, he's at least direct. He at least is going to be able to say what he needs to say when he needs to say it. And people will appreciate that and they'll respect you more for that. And I wouldn't hold back, Aquarius. I really wouldn't. With this very first card, that's just not advisable, because then you would be in this position of thinking back to the conversation and being like, oh man, I wish I had done that. Or if it's a creative project, oh man, I wish I took the time to do it. This is a time to just do it, to turn off the TV, turn off the phone, social media, close yourself in a room and just do it. Okay, so now we have Judgment. Whoops, hold on. Let me just lay these out a little bit better. Hold on, so it doesn't hit my microphone thing. Okay. Eight of Cups. And Strength. Yeah, you are getting a lot of major arcana. Which is good. I like it because it just means that it's a more pronounced month for you. It's something to pay attention to. Now the artwork in this Judgment card, we have like an angel and a devil. So it's kind of like, you go to Judgment and you're determined to go to one or the other. Obviously that's like a very Christian approach to it. So I have a little bit of a different interpretation than I normally do. With this case, I do feel like it is about practicing the best judgment that you possibly can. The good thing about having a strong Mercury transit and even having a Mars retrograde in Gemini, which of course is associated with communication, the retrograde offers us an opportunity to pause before we speak. It's not just us running our mouth and just, saying random things. It's usually a very well thought out approach to things. And so being diligent in practicing good judgment. And this could be with what it is that's needing to come out as well. Like, let's say this is not even about anything that's said, or it's not about a project. Let's say this is something that you want to incorporate into your life. Like let's say you want to start investing because you've never invested before. You don't have a portfolio. So you would like to get that going in your life and you would like to learn how to do that. So this would be that opportunity to say, okay, well, today I'm feeling a little bit tired. Do I watch Netflix or do I watch some informational videos on YouTube about how to do this and how to be smart about it, right? And so it's about choices. It's about the choices that we make that lead to the correct outcome. And that's all. That's kind of how I'm going to interpret that one. And the discipline that comes through with the devil is certainly there, also with the 8 of coins too. We actually have a couple 8 cards. 8 of coins, 8 of cups, and strength. And then that coupled with death, it's very clear that a chapter of your life is going by the wayside. It's very clear you are leaving something behind. And I think that's why this is so important. It's like it's not important, but it is. It's not the main story, but it will be. So that's why it does need to, it needs a little bit of prioritization right now. And while people may not understand, they're like, why are you working on that? Why are you doing that? We have 10 other things to do. You're going to have to say, no, this is important to me right now. This is something, because I can't not do it anymore. I can't just keep thinking about it. I have to actually execute on this. And you're going to have the strength and the fortitude and the focus, especially to kind of command that and to really make that happen. Okay? But it's really exciting stuff. And again, let's go back to the Queen of Wands though, right? Because she is probably something who is already doing it. She is someone who has succeeded and is making the money and has the relationship, and like she has the stuff to show for it. And this may be reflecting back to you in a certain way, but it's motivating. There's no jealousy here. There's none of that. I don't normally see my Aquarians getting super jealous, but it's more about putting your mind to it and actually doing it. All right, let's go ahead and pull out some clarifiers. Now, the cards I'm about to pull out are the cards we will cover in the comprehensive reading. We'll usually talk for another 25 to 30 minutes about all these cards. So it's kind of like a whole second reading. Now, down in the description box in the comment thread down below, I will give you multiple links on how to purchase these. Some people like to subscribe, where you can just automatically get access every month. Some people like to just do a single one-time purchase. So just make sure you're clicking on the right link for what it is that you're looking for. There are multiple ways, or you can join my Soul Seekers group. There's information down there below as well. Okay, I don't want to spend too much time talking about it, but it's all down in the description box in the comment thread down below. All right, so let's talk about the devil, okay? What else does Aquarius need to know about this devil energy? Okay, Page of Cups. What else does Aquarius need to know for November 2022? We have the Hierophant. And we have the Page of Swords. Okay, couple of pages, which I like page energies right now. 6 of Swords reversed. The Magician. And the King of Wands. Beautiful. All right, now to clarify the 9-card block, starting with that World card. What else does Aquarius need to know for November 2022? 2 of Swords. Five of Cups reversed. And the Empress reversed. Another Queen of Wands. 4 of Swords, beautiful. And another 2 of Cups. Nice cards on top of that Death card. I didn't get a bad feeling from that Death card at all. Another 8 of Coins. A Hermit. Well, there you are, shutting yourself behind closed doors. And another King of Wands. Ten of Wands reversed. Two of Coins reversed. Queen of Coins. We have the Lovers. Three of Coins and Nine of Wands. Seven of Swords. King of Cups and the Chariot. There seems to be some connection with fear with this Two of Cups, with the Seven of Swords and the Devil. So I do think communicating, approaching or broaching a specific topic or subject with somebody important to you might be something that's really hard for you to do up front, but ultimately works out really well. Gosh, I have a big fly in here. Hierophant reversed. Five of Wands reversed. Five of Coins, Judgment reversed. Beautiful. Love the Fool. Oh, love that even more with the Ten of Cups and Eight of Wands. Excellent. So this is where we are going to pick up in the comprehensive reading. Again, all that information will be found in the description box and the comment thread down below. Thank you all so much. You guys know I love and adore you. Have an amazing month of November, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye. Hello, Aquarius. Welcome to the astrological horoscope portion of the November 2022 readings. So let's go ahead and delve in here. So I have this clock set for November 1st. Okay. So, but we need to remember that the last week of October is incredibly eventful. Okay. So we have the new moon eclipse in Scorpio, which is 10th house activation for you on October 25th. We had Jupiter coming back into Pisces on the 28th. We had, of course, Mercury coming into Scorpio on the 29th. We can see him just kind of hanging out here at the beginning of Scorpio. On the 30th, we had Mars go retrograde. So just a couple of days prior to November, here is Mars right here, starting to speed up in his retrograde direction. Now, this is going to be, I mean, of course, we have the new moon eclipse in Scorpio, and then we have the full moon eclipse on November 8th in Taurus in your fourth house. Now, 10th house, fourth houses, these angular houses are especially potent. Okay, we know that. First house, fourth house, seventh house, 10th house, really important aspects of our lives. 10th house has a lot to do with our public life, our reputation. A lot of times our career, indications of our career can be seen through this because it has a lot to do with our contribution that we make to society and humanity at large. And I do feel that Aquarius is really ready. I feel like Aquarius is really ready for new levels of success that they have never known before. And success can be defined in many ways. However, I do feel that this is going to be more worldly. All right. 10th house can be an extremely worldly house. So it's what we go after. We can't really help it in a way. It also has a lot to do with how people perceive us. And with a new moon happening, now this new moon eclipse on October 25th is at 2 degrees, which is the first decan of Scorpio, which is either Pluto or Mars ruled, depending on if you use modern or traditional rulerships here. But it does have this component of destruction. Now, this is like creating through deconstruction. You create a new life, you create a new path or a new product or a new whatever. You create this by eliminating the obstacles or the obstructions. So elimination, Scorpio rules elimination, is a very important notion to pay attention to in our lives. And to eliminate means to clear the path and to simplify and to streamline our consciousness in a way that it's just like a laser sharp focus. And we know that Mars can often be connected with the eyes because Mars is ruled by Scorpio is ruled by Mars. And Scorpio, one of the old symbols of Scorpio is the eagle, right? And we know that eagles have an incredible eyesight. So I'm really focused on, I don't know why, just intuitively, feeling very focused on your laser-like focus, as though you have prey, right? A goal that you are circulating around and ready to dive in and go get. And to enjoy the abundance of that, all right? And then as we make our way to November 8th, we have the full moon eclipse happening here. Now, full moons, whether they're eclipses or not, they are incredible feedback mechanisms, all right? And in the fourth house, there's a lot of things happening in our more private world, all right? So I feel that something in your private world, whether it is a person or a situation or something that's not privy to everybody else. Like no one knows that you're probably dealing with this. But in your private world, in your home and family life, there is going to be some pretty significant life-changing feedback that you are going to receive, and it will change the course of your plan. Now, it may not change your whole life overnight, but I think changing the plan will inevitably change your life, or it will change where you end up. Now, I've been saying this in every sign, and I will continue to say this in every sign, that this particular eclipse cycle and Scorpio season as a whole is very much about reform. All right, so we are eliminating the structures that do not work and building upon the structures that do work. We don't want to completely eliminate everything, because then we have to start from scratch, and that would be a total waste, right? It's like if you plant a seed and it starts to grow and it starts to sprout, and then you realize that maybe it needs a little bit more sunlight. You don't kill this tree and then go plant a new one and wait a few more years. No, you take this tree and you move it into a better place, right? You move it into a place where it's more likely to thrive. All right, so that's essentially what's happening, is we already have the sprout. We have the basic structure. And I think that's what Saturn was so good for in Aquarius over the past couple of years. Now, remember that Saturn came into your sign on December 21st, right? The winter solstice came into Aquarius and then came into a conjunction with Jupiter, okay? That conjunction really set the tone, especially for Aquarius. And it says this is a time to expand, but, right, Jupiter's like, oh, I want to expand. And then Saturn is like, yeah, we'll expand, but we're going to do it right. Saturn requires and demands that things are built right, that they're built well. Right? And that's why it takes time. Like there's a big difference. Like we know the difference between like a set of track homes that were built in like 6 months, right? You got like 50 homes and they were all built and they're like the cheapest homes possible with all the builder grade stuff. There's a big difference between that and like the palaces over in Europe, right? That have stood the test of time, that are like hundreds and hundreds of years old, right? Or the medieval castles that are even older, right? Or the old Viking villages that are even older than that, right? I mean, these are things that are so well crafted that they were able to withstand the storms and the weather and people and societies and just all sorts of things. So that's what Saturn is about. He's about longevity. And it takes time to build the things that can have longevity. But this signifies something beautiful and wonderful in your life. All right, so it's like building the bones of everything. And when it is so well built, it cannot be destroyed. And you are crafting an entirely new identity here, whether you realize it or not. I do think a lot of Aquarians struggle with the Saturn transit in their sign. And who wouldn't? Of course, everybody does. That's what Saturn's a tough planet. You know, he's not easy. But whatever identity you have created at this time is something that will stand the test of time, and it is something that will assist you in building this entirely new lifestyle that you are seeking at this point. So whatever feedback this full moon eclipse conjunct Uranus, whatever feedback this provides you, now there may be volatility in your private life. There may be something that needs to break apart. Uranus is chaotic and volatile, but that's what I mean. Like, only the things that are not well built will come crashing down. It's like when you have an earthquake, not every building falls down. You know, and that's just fact. You know, not every building falls down. Not every building falls to pieces. There are some that remain standing and remain completely intact. But the ones that are not well built, they will fall. And so if something does fall out of your life, or if something does need to change, or if someone confronts you or you confront them, or whatever it is, if that happens, don't be alerted, don't be frustrated, don't be angry, don't be scared. Know that this is a process of fragile and unstable things in your life being eliminated for the sake of your greatest success that you possibly can have, okay? And I actually really like this. Well, let's start with the Mars retrograde, because Mars retrograde just started on the 30th of October. And here he is, just sort of in your fifth house. There's a lot of creation and inner child energy that comes out. And I am hoping, because Saturn can definitely give old soul energy, where Mars can be a little bit more playful in the fifth house anyway. He can definitely be very playful. And this is an opportunity for you to connect with your inner child a lot more, which weirdly, it's kind of a different way of channeling old soul energy, right? The inner child and the old soul kind of are one and of the same, right? The child soul being very connected to where they came from, all right? And I think when you're connected to where you came from, you're connected to the infiniteness of you. So there is something beautiful stirring up within Aquarius. Whatever you are thinking about creating, whatever you're brainstorming about, whatever it is that you are craving to do, this is likely a time where you may not execute on it with this Mars retrograde. It may not be a good time to execute or initiate or to launch. But, and again, it's eclipses and it's a Mars retrograde, so it's like a double no on that stuff. But again, elimination is going to be an aspect of creation and brainstorming. And it's like, I'm kind of envisioning one of those walls that's just full of Post-it notes and like magazine clippings and pictures and, articles and stuff. And it's just like, here's my brainstorming, like my brain dump. Right, here it is. Blech, it's just all out there. Nothing is refined. Nothing is precise. Nothing is planned at this point. And it's more a matter of seeing what really attracts you. right? What do you gravitate towards? And giving yourself multiple months, not just November, but multiple months to see what really sticks. Because sometimes we can get very excited about something, especially during a Mars retrograde. We can get very excited about something, and then we initiate, we launch, we spend all this investment, and then it just falls off. People fall out, people flake out, people don't carry through, we don't carry through, and it's just kind of like, goes flat. But if you wait a few months, you're going to start to notice that something matters to you, right? That there's an idea and it's not going anywhere. It's not shaking. You're not losing interest. You're not getting bored. And it's like, yes, that's the direction in which I want to go, right there. And you're going to know exactly what it is. So when next year approaches, specifically next Aries season especially, if the idea will likely still be intact, and that will be a fantastic time to initiate and launch. Okay? Okay. All right, Aquarius, sorry. I don't want to keep saying Aries. I'm looking at Mars. I'm thinking Aries. I have no idea why. Aquarius. I know I'm reading for Aquarius. So anyway, I'm going to leave you with that. Thank you so much, Aquarius. You know I love you. Have an amazing November, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.